Okay, you're listening to Shift Happens. We are here at the first show in the new Hidden Garden Gallery in New Denver, British Columbia. And we are here with Rabia. Rabia has shown quite a few different times in the Hidden Garden Gallery in the past, but in the other building.
Yeah, this is a whole new venue, and actually this is only the second day in this particular venue ever. This used to be an old garage.
It's beautiful. It's pre-1900s. It's a very old building that's been through all kinds of purposing, even a stable apparently. Mm-hmm. You can kind of see where that might have been the case. Anyway, so Rabia is an artist from Winlaw, an amazing artist, as you will see as we cruise around the gallery. She does sculpture and a new adventure, vinyl art, and mosaicing, glass, welding. It's an extravaganza.
Textiles.
Banners. Yes. So anyway, we'll start with the vinyls. This is a new thing for you.
Yeah, I started doing this 2 winters ago, because basically I closed up my welding studio in the winter time, and sorry about that. And to this day, I can't remember how vinyl came into my life, because it's not just something. Anyway, I can't remember.
I remember we did an interview with you about a year ago. Mm-hmm. And you brought in your first few vinyl boards.
Okay.
Because I had some photos of you on that interview. And you were talking about that you were so excited because you discovered this new material. Yeah. But I don't remember you saying how you came across it either.
I just can't remember, but anyway, here it is, and I love it. And it's basically, it's almost like mosaicing, just a different material. And right. Yeah, you get all the colors, you can do whatever you want, and you can go over top of you. Like when you're mosaicing, everything has to fit next to each other. Here you can go over top and work things.
You can layer.
You can do different, yeah, it's very effective. And I love color, I love shape, and I love design, so here you have it. So
have you used this technique using vinyls to do mock-ups for your large mosaics?
No. No, I don't do mock-ups. No,
I
just do one piece after another. Well, for the large mosaics that I'm doing in Nelson now, for the Wall Street project, we do a drawing. We have to because it's really large. Yeah. So Carl and I do the design together, and then we do a drawing, and I lay my mesh over top of it, and I do it according to the drawing. Yeah, I can't wing it.
Oh. Well, winging it seems to work for you.
Mostly it does, yeah.
So then you have this piece, which is really beautiful, and I know you always love to incorporate found objects. Mm-hmm. So this is an old windshield. It looks like it's from like a VW bus.
You know what, I don't know. You find stuff behind somebody's garage or in a back alley, like I don't remember how it came in my life. Like when I see things and I can take it home, I take it home. And this has been in my yard for like probably 5 years before I figured out what to do with it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you just kind of live with these objects and then...
Someday it'll speak to me.
Ah.
Yeah. And then these glass mason lids came from the donation store in New Denver. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. And then you've got some stained glass and... what are these called again?
I call them blobs.
Blobs.
I think they just pour glass on something like a cookie sheet and
it makes a blob.
They're blobs. And then, not to miss this beautiful mount made by Carl.
Okay.
Exquisite, one center.
We should do
balanced.
A plug for Carl because he does a lot of work with you. And what's his last name?
Shifty.
Okay, I won't even try that.
Try to spell it.
And Carl is a welder. He's the one that originally got you involved in art, in the art world.
And he did the whole installation here. Like everything that you see mounted, hanging, that's his job, professionally. Like when it comes to installing the show, I just stand back, I become the helper.
Right. Yeah. Well, did he design this?
Yeah, he made the shelf. He made the shelf for the sheep trials as well.
Okay, well we'll get around to sheep trials.
Yeah, he's a handy man.
He is.
Clever.
He is, and that is a beautiful stand
Mm-hmm.
and perfectly balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think that's our plug for Carl.
That's our plug for Carl.
He might come into it again.
We can, one of these days, we have to get Carl in front of a camera, or at least at a microphone, which...
Ooh, good luck, I say.
Yeah.
I say good luck.
Good luck, we'll keep trying. Okay, so more mosaics in the form of vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
When I first saw you starting to do the mosaics on vinyl,
You can't really call them mosaics. These are just vinyl art.
they weren't as complex. You're doing a lot of really cool layering, and I see some texture.
Well, the thing is, what happens first you do something, and then you can see how you can finesse it.
Right.
Like, for instance, see, like this tree trunk, it's got edges, black edges, so it stands out more.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of extra steps, but I've got nothing but time. I've got 24 hours every day, same as everybody else. So this is what I choose to put in it.
They're lovely.
Somebody said yesterday, made a comment about my show, and she said, what patience. And I think first it comes passion. And when you have passion for something, then patience comes to just do what you want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was what we talked about last time, was how you maintain this passion for life. And a lot of that comes from this creative process. It's what feeds your passions, right?
I think I'm just lucky. Really, I think I'm just lucky.
And I don't think it's just luck. I think it's attitude. You have this amazing, just super positive, super. How would I even put it? It's like elan. It's this zest for life. We talked about last time. You have a Sufi practice practice of gratitude.
Yeah, that's the one practice. We talked about that before, and it's like it's so evident every day in my life, all the things I have to be grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the easiest practice to do. If you have a spiritual practice, get one that's easy. Then you do it all the time, and it works for you.
It's true. So are you still practicing that all the time?
As we
Every
speak.
day? Yeah. Sweet. Okay, well, let's carry on. We have lots of things to take a look at. So here's some more of your vinyl work. Oh, what are you applying the vinyl to? Some of it looks like board, some of it looks like metal.
Yeah, mostly what I can find. This is probably, I cut old appliances out, get nice square pieces of metal. It's nice. This is probably an old backing of an IKEA frame. That's wood. Whatever I can find.
Okay.
I'm a scrounger.
Okay.
And they all fit, they're all on the wall with magnets. More Carl's work, all invisible.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, if you can't see. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
There's actually a story here. I started working this piece, and I was working on the flowers, and then I got a wedding invitation from friends in the valley, and I started thinking about them. So here they are, Ian and Melissa, and there's their baby Arrow.
And he's sort of flying like an arrow.
Yes, he's flying towards them.
I love the legs.
Love the legs, and look at, I made texture for the dress.
Yeah.
I made it like a textured dress. It's like, talk about patience, but like, why not?
So do you cut the pieces out?
I cut the pieces out, then I peel off the backing.
Apply it.
Yeah.
And then how do you, because you are often layering these to get the outlines, so how do you then find the next, you want to cut the next piece slightly smaller than the one before?
No, you start, okay, so for instance, this is here the hoodie, the green hoodie.
Right.
Cut that out first, and then I put it on another piece of black, and then I cut out the outline.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, that makes it easier. So you're cutting the smallest piece first.
Yeah. But the outline makes such a difference.
It does.
If you didn't do it, it just, makes a difference.
Yeah, I think
makes
that's,
it speak more.
that's what's different about when you were first trying this. It was really
More
cool
basic.
and geometric,
Yeah.
but it was more basic,
More
and
basic.
there wasn't the layers of color and outline.
I wonder which pieces we were...
They're not here because I remember them.
Ah, they're probably some of the pieces that I left behind.
Yeah, I don't see them.
Yeah. Well, you have better memory than I have.
Yeah, they're all lovely, and they're all these people who
Look like me.
look like you, with the multicolors, and we'll catch a glimpse of the back of your shirt afterwards. But
I'm not
you're
even-
always wearing these things that you've put layers of color on too.
Cobbled together.
Cobbled together, but in a lovely kind of way. Okay, so I wanted to, before we go on, I wanted to check out this. This is, you said, this is Old Sandon.
This is called the little town of Sandon.
And we'll let Jeff get the front of it eventually. It's a really sweet little... Did this kind of process begin when you did the big ones for the art walk in Castlebar?
I think maybe it came after. I can't remember the timing exactly, but it's a good possibility.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
because I remember that one big piece that with the clothesline. And
Imagine the stories.
Yeah, yes, that was the name of that piece, yeah.
That was a good piece. That lives
It was.
That's in Castlebar forever.
Is it?
They bought it.
Oh, great,
Yeah.
great.
It's a permanent installation.
And in here is a whole other type of artwork that you've been doing, and this is using, is this like negative space left from other projects, or how do you make these pieces?
You have a really good memory, Anna.
I do.
You have a really good memory for things I've said previously. Yeah, I often find, like at a designer shop or a welding shop, the pieces that get left behind,
Yeah.
even in Carl's yard. And it's amazing how often I can find these odd pieces and they want to make figures.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, this is the only figure here, and that's obviously something else. But if you come to my yard, I have so many.
Figures
You
from,
have tall people.
yeah.
I call them my dumpster kids, because, you know, the metal came out of the dumpster, and
Yeah.
they're the oddest pieces, but I can see figures.
Yeah.
So
Well,
fun.
yeah, you totally
Yeah.
can, but you wouldn't really pick that up if you just looked at
No.
the individual chunks.
No, exactly. And then, of course, I got these cute little things that I can add.
Yeah. And I have not seen this before. This is on wood, is it?
Those are plaster.
Okay.
Years ago, when I still had a kiln,
Yes.
before you got my kiln,
Before I bought your
I was doing ceramics, and I was making face masks. So Carl made me all these plaster casts, so I had a mold to put a face on.
Oh, okay.
And since I no longer have a kiln or do ceramics,
Well, you're welcome to use it any time.
I'm done. I'm done. And I was cleaning out my house this winter, and I thought, oh, okay, there they are. And am I going to chuck them? And I thought, I can paint them. So that's what happened, and I gave them all jewelry.
I can totally see. I wonder about combining the vinyl bits with this as well.
Yeah, you could do. I don't know how vinyl contours.
Yeah, well, it's stretchy.
Yeah, it's stretchy, but
It
you might.
might.
Yeah, I haven't tried it. Yeah.
Well, this project for
Yes.
next time.
Contemplation.
Yeah. Oh, I love the duck.
Huh? I thought I made a chicken.
Okay.
But so far
it's a
pe-
green head. It looks like a mallard.
So far, people have been calling it a duck, so it's a duck.
It's a
I remember starting this piece, and like once you start cutting vinyl, pretty soon you have your table. It's full of odd bits, all the leftover bits.
Yeah.
And I had this piece that looked like a fish, and that's basically how it started.
Okay.
The whole piece got started because of
Because
that.
of that fish.
Yeah. And then everything just came after.
I don't know if this is what you intended, but to me this looks like a birch forest.
Yes, that is actually a birch forest
All right.
in the fall.
It's lovely.
Yeah. And I love my
Yeah.
sky sunset when there's a strange animal.
You haven't given it a species yet?
It's for other people to interpret. People love to interpret things.
Yes, they do. They do. I love your multicolored art.
I know. Signing things is another thing.
Yeah, I always hate that actually. I don't know why, but
In the,
I find it irritating.
the mosaics in Nelson, we have to sign it.
Right,
And that's the most fiddly part of all, and not my favorite, but we
Yeah.
have to do it
right.
so that we're there in perpetuity.
And okay, and here's Sheepdog Trials. This is bronze, right?
Bronze, yes.
Which is always fun, just
Yes.
because it's such a lovely material.
Yes.
So did you make these pieces with bronze, or did you have them cast?
Yeah, I had them cast. is like I make them in wax,
Okay.
and then they go to KSA, Kootenai School of the Arts,
Yeah.
and
They
the
bronze
teacher
them for
there and the students help, because once I turn in the wax, there's a lot of steps yet that have to be
Yeah.
done before they become that.
Yeah.
But wax is so sweet to work with, like you can do
Mhm.
all the detail-y things, and every mark, like whatever mark is in the wax, you will get exactly in the bronze. Yeah.
It's interesting because you've chosen to work flat as if they were made out of bronze initially, you know, a sheet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas, like when I work with wax, I work, you know, with depth, with more.
Mm-hmm. Like the whole figure. Not
Yeah,
flat.
yeah. But this has the same feel as the pieces that you make with sheet metal because you've worked with it
Yeah.
as a flat material.
But I've also done bronzes, like, you know,
Yeah,
three-dimensional
I
figures.
remember seeing
Yeah.
that
But
last time.
this is like, most people that do bronzes, like bronzes tend to always be like important.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, this is now a good piece, but I've also done just whimsical figures, and you know,
Get them done in bronze.
that's whimsical. It's wonderful. And
Yeah.
bronze outside, it doesn't rust. It lasts forever.
Yeah,
It's such
it's
a
just patinas.
it's such a good material.
Yeah. So eventually this will become kind of a dark brown patina,
I
right?
would love it to turn green. I've actually put single pieces in my compost pile for a year to see what would happen.
Yeah, and
Well, it looks kind of scuzzy and it colors, but it goes back to that kind of. Like
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Ah.
Unless you put a particular patina
well,
on.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can get patinas to paint on bronze to change the color, right?
Yeah, Carl
Can
and
you
I-
get a verdigris
Carl and
patina for bronze?
we have tried for it, but I don't know whether you didn't have the right ones. And I'm just particularly to green, not
Right.
brownish or reddish. But
Right.
Anyway,
I've done
I'm
that
fine.
with copper,
Yeah,
done the
yeah,
verdigris.
yeah, copper works.
Yeah,
Really well.
but then copper will eventually turn brown too,
Yeah,
even with the patina.
I see.
Although, you remember the roof of the Hotel Vancouver?
Yes. Yeah,
That's always stayed green.
yeah. I think they made copper different in those days.
Maybe.
Didn't have a
Different alloy?
didn't have a coating on it.
No, it doesn't. So why is this called Sheepdog Trials?
I lived in Australia for a year, and for part of that year I was in sheep country. And so this is basically a whole bunch of farmers looking at their sheepdogs going through the trials, herding. Like they'll have a little surround for the sheep to go in.
Right?
And the dogs just basically do the work, the guys whistle.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why we all see them from the back here.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yesterday there were some people looking like,
Trying to see.
looked like they were peeing.
Yes, actually, I did hear that comment.
Did you?
Yeah,
But their hands are not in the right place for that.
I could see it though.
Yes, some people, guys with their...
And this is your sort of interpretation of Escher. This is a wheelchair originally, a really old wheelchair. Lovely piece. Just like multi-dimensional. It kind of reminds me of string theory when they have this whole idea of 7 dimensions, and I've seen images where they try to actually interpret what that would be like. And it feels a bit like this, like things are twisted. You're not, you're starting out on one plane and sort of changing to another.
They nicely don't make sense.
They nicely don't
Right?
make sense, yeah.
It's sometimes it's nice to confuse the eye.
Yeah, well, I just love the umbrella at the top.
That's probably the top of an old barbecue or something. And then these are more doodads from an old bedstead.
Right.
From
And
like,
the little-
probably from this bedstead.
And you've incorporated one of your little houses too.
Yeah.
So did Carl help you with this, or was
No.
this all you?
No, this is all me.
You're all.
Yeah. This was really fun.
What kind of a welder? Do you use a MIG welder?
It's called a wire feed. I think maybe that's a make.
Yeah.
Sweet tool.
Yeah, super easy, really. It's just a gun with wire running through
Mhm.
it and
Yeah.
an electrical charge to melt it, right?
Mhm.
I've played around with them. They are definitely fun.
They call it the glue gun at welders.
Yeah, because it's easy. But hey, why not make it easy?
Oh, it's a real welded, it's not a toy.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is a fun piece.
very fun.
So this wheelchair ended up in the Slocan city dump, and the woman who works there knows me, and she said, "Oh, Rabia, I should have this thing."
Yeah.
Anyway, she didn't know my last name or number, so she waited till somebody that she knew me, and she says, "Oh, you have to take this thing to Rabia." So I eventually got it, and it was scuzzy. It had all the foam upholstery and mouse poop in it, and plastic torn, like it was an ugly thing. Anyway, I tore it apart, took the rest of the stuff back to the dump, and then this is what happened, one step at a time.
Yeah.
I never have the whole picture when I start. I just start with one piece, and then I see what comes next.
Your reputation is useful then because people know to bring you the interesting bits.
I'm very discerning as to what I allow people to bring me.
Right.
Because
Otherwise you'd have a junkyard.
I'm Dutch. I don't want a junkyard. I'm very discerning. I would rather go to people's places and pick or say no.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want people to just bring me stuff.
Right. So if you had just seen this piece and somebody hadn't driven it over and dropped it off with you, would you have accepted it, the wheelchair?
Yes, because the girl who brought it, she was visiting, and she says, "I have something in the truck for you." And she says, "I don't know if you want it. If you don't want it, I'll take it back to the dump."
Okay.
And it was like scuzzy.
Right.
And the upholstery and
Yeah,
torn
I know.
and all, and yeah. And it took me, I don't know, maybe 60 seconds, and I went, yeah, I think there's potential.
Okay.
Yeah, and obviously,
You were right.
yeah, it's lovely, I love it.
Yeah. I do too.
And the nice thing about most of my pieces, they can just live outside.
Yeah.
They're good. They came, they've been in the outside before I got them, and they can stay there.
Does this thing still wheel?
Yes, wheels really well.
Hmm.
Somebody actually last night made a comment. They said, "This old style wheelchair is made way better
Yeah.
than the new ones now. Just where the handle is and for pushing
Yeah.
these, and the wheels work really well."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sweet piece.
I know. I have a friend who's in a wheelchair and I have to tighten everything up all the time. The whole thing gets rickety. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. So, we have these balls, which are beautiful, and I have seen other ones that you've done in the past.
A better word is spheres.
Spheres, you're right, they are, because they're not really balls, because you can see right through them. And I see you've got these curls in this one. Is that all from a source, or did you make them?
Which, these?
Those curls, yeah.
Those are actually, they were part of a wine rack.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, those were
Makes
wine
perfect
rack.
sense.
These hubs,
Or from a bedstead.
they from a bedspread from standing, and then the rest I had to add lip to make it all tied together.
Right. They're lovely. And that, you have one like this in your yard.
This is it.
This is the one in
This is
your
the one
yard?
in my yard.
Okay.
It's-
So it can live just on the
Yeah.
grass,
Yeah, I've been kicking it forever, and
And you
I
can-
know I just kick it out of the way.
roll it around. And is this one of the pieces that's been in your yard for a while too?
No, this one actually, because I cleaned the steel,
Yeah.
and then I hate it to get rusty again, so this has actually been living in my house.
Right.
You do so much work cleaning it, and so I have space in my house.
And this one's a bit different because often you are joining these pieces together so that the external
Mm-hmm.
skin is one-dimensional or two-dimensional, but this piece you've actually overlapped things. It feels more like a ball of twine or something.
That was not on purpose, but when you're welding, and I have a form for that, and as soon as you heat it, it contracts, and then it's no longer, it's hard to get everything laying flat, so then I decided to just use that and go up and down where it needed, so all in all you get a curve.
Okay, well it works. You know, that's the funny thing, I find the same thing when I'm sculpting. It's the whole happy accidents thing.
Mm-hmm. And then you just use that.
Yeah, things unfold that you don't expect, and then if you're adaptable, it makes it better.
Yeah, I think it's actually more interesting, like you say, it's like a ball of twine.
Yeah, it is more interesting this way.
And this is just about one of the only materials that I actually buy new. It's called pencil rod. It's cheap and it's such a nice material.
Right,
Such
and you
a
can
nice
use it
material.
to tie things
Yeah.
together when...
Yeah, I always need to keep a bunch of length of that around.
Right. Okay, and then there's this piece. Now, is this, did you cut those shapes out, or was that using negative space again?
They were actually, it started out, it could have been that one. It started out, I think I found some of these pieces that Carl was cutting out,
Right?
negative spaces, and then I think then I started cutting out more.
I really like the partial sphere
Me
too.
There was a little girl here yesterday, and she said, Rabia, that one is broken.
No, and I really love the way you stitch these together. It's almost, it feels like stitches, especially on this one.
Yeah, you can see all
The little,
well, the thing is, I work on the inside.
right?
I weld it on the inside, and sometimes it's messy on the outside, so then I guess
So
that
then
one
you
I
cut it
did,
off?
I maybe did a lot more welds on the outside there. It has to have integrity in the end.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could do the most amazing lampshades.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could. But I'm not into lampshades. Somebody else could do that.
Somebody else could take them and they probably wouldn't want to mess with your... And, okay, so this is something new for you, at least that I have seen, is your drawings. And you have a really interesting process that you use to do these.
Well, these are actually all done with my finger on my iPad. Install a sketch pad and that's it. Never saw pencil to paper.
That's crazy. I mean, especially these pieces that are, they're quite fine. And your iPad is not very big, so you're actually drawing at that scale with your finger,
Yep.
doing those little
Yeah, believe it or not.
details.
And you can make your lines thicker or thinner, obviously.
Yeah.
They're thicker.
They're lovely, actually.
I do too.
Really like them.
And strange characters.
Yeah. I love this
Yes,
googly-eyed lady.
I know. And you can have fun with hair or no hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of these models came because I don't always have models around. And I'd be watching a documentary or a movie or something, and if I see a nice face or a profile, I just freeze it and use it for modeling.
You always have very ingenious methods. So here's some of the bronzes that... Did you do these ones originally in wax as well then?
Yes, yeah, you have to. But originally I did these in clay. I had these clay
Yeah,
films and I
that's-
really liked them.
Okay.
And then I went, they'd be really good in bronze. So then I made wax and then send them to
Okay.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But look at like with wax, look at the fun you can have with hair. You just carve it
Yeah,
and play with it.
I know. Is this the dark brown sculpting wax?
Mhm,
Yeah, I love
It's really,
that stuff.
it's really strong.
Yeah. Very fun. And
Goofy faces.
so now we're at your textiles, and we'll have to catch a glimpse of the pennant outside as well, because that's so beautiful. But you've been doing these banners for a while now. Is this one of the... No, it's not one of the first things that you did. You did metal at the beginning.
Yeah, the banners, I think they are from 3 winters ago. The banners are definitely before the final.
Vinyl.
Yeah,
But
before the final.
you
Yeah.
can definitely see this sort of the Rabianess of them.
Yeah, they all look like Rabia art. I wonder why.
Yeah, because it's all coming out of your brain.
But it's again like color, texture, shape, design. And you know, it doesn't matter what medium you use. There it is. Everything's possible. All you need is a few simple tools to do it.
Yeah.
I fell in love with my serger here. Never used a serger before.
Yeah.
Tricky.
I love those.
Yeah, it's nice what they can do, but they're tricky when No, they don't work.
Well, you've got like 3 spools or 4 spools feeding in at once. Yeah, but what they can do and the ease of working with them is fabulous. I love that you have this theme of the clothesline.
Yep.
You had that in that piece.
In Castlegar.
Yeah, and this has a clothesline. So these are magnetic.
Yep.
Which is why you've got them applied to the lid.
Yep.
Great fridge magnets.
Fancy fridge magnets. So this is, I'll tell you about this piece. So Carl has a Honda Fit, and he saw my work and he said, can you make a little something behind my license plate at the back?
Right.
It would look really good. So I said, make me a
Yeah.
template. And so I made this. And then I left this space for the license plate. Turned out, and this is figurative, right? This is narrative.
Yeah.
I made it upside down. It's supposed to be like that, so it didn't work, so I had to make him another one. And
Right.
I've got this one.
I see. I
And
was
then-
trying to picture
And
how
then,
that.
and then I filled in the license plate for it.
Right. Happy accidents.
Yeah, quite.
And there's more on this side.
Yeah, this is actually the good side.
I'm liking the fish.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really ever seen you. Oh no, you did a bunch of the ceramic.
Yeah, I did
fish.
fish.
I remember that.
Anna, you have a good memory. Whoa. They're still living at my place.
Are they?
It's summer and winter.
Right. Okay, well, and we're back at the beginning. This piece.
Do you want to talk about this
I
piece?
do. I want to know what it is.
Okay, this rack that you see was probably an oven rack or dish rack, I have no idea.
Okay.
Got crushed, burned in a trash fire. You could even see where plastic melted on it.
Right.
That's ugly. Anyway, I had it for years and years and years, and it always seemed to have potential, and then one day I just did that.
It's like a little garden bed outside your house.
Yeah, somebody's called it a flower garden, and he put a red sticker on it.
Those red stickers are good.
Yeah, those red stickers I did.
Well, thanks so much for the tour.
Yeah, we had a tour.
The tour of the new Hidden Garden Gallery, which we think should be called the Garage Gallery. For sure. I think you're right. Or we could call it the Stables.
Yeah.
The Garage Gallery. Alliteration. Thanks so much, Rabia.
Thank
It's
you.
been great.
Obviously, I love a captive audience.
Yes, I know you do. Oh, and turn around. We have to see this. This is a Rabia piece. Also, she always wears these great collage pieces on her body. Rabia art.
And
Literally.
the piece that I have in Castlegar this year is called Dr. Seuss and I.
Oh, okay. Oh, I haven't seen it. Haven't seen it yet.
You have time.
I do. Okay, good. I forgot all about that. I'm going to be there Thursday. I will go see. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.